All right.
Wait. It was muted. players who should be kept or who was muted? Yeah, no, it's talking about these temporary retirement guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, Action at a Distance.
I think it's talking about.
So we're going to be live streaming this match. Look for us in the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Gobra, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's going to be taking on Rob Treen, who's running High Elves, action at a distance. So we're going to be live streaming this match. Everybody welcome to the Brevard Game Lounge, where tonight we have our Season 1 Blood Bowl Championship match. We have Josh Wojcik, who's running Goblins, Brevard, and he's...
That's probably why it's
Yes, I know.
But I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to drop this because this is
No, that's fine.
All
All right, guys, we're getting ready. They're going over the rosters. They're going over the skills. We already got a couple of comments from some people watching. We had a little bit of some audio technical issues. It's a little loud. We got a full house here tonight. We have a Dungeons & Dragons She&D group that's running in the front, where it looks like there's at least 10 or more players. And then we also have a Magic the Gathering tournament that's running in the back with us while we're streaming this. So it's going to be a little bit loud. So we're going to try and do some commentary via the chat, but you should still be able to follow along. All right, guys, if you're following along on tourplay.net, the coaches are already starting to go through the process of fans, journeyman, weather, and the match is going to be starting in the next 5-10 minutes. Thanks again for everybody for watching.
I gotta buy. I meant to buy one, but it didn't let me. So I guess I'll tell you what the
I'm gonna like it myself.
When I hit accept on that one, I thought I'd go back to the previous menu. So I'm just gonna write it down. And then maybe put it in.
Mine's pretty easy. About 3 brands.
This is what I bought. I bought Fire Syrup for 120, Budweiser Cake for 50. Are you familiar with Fire Syrup? Yeah, look it up. It's on.
You know what the funny thing about extra paper is? And also, like 2 days later, I literally yelled out on the phone. That might get around extra paper. It's so annoying. Well, no, it was a mana ability. That would go. Activated ability.
I wrote it down. I hit
Fine. Laser cake.
I think I accept and so I took my binder.
It's not plugged in down there.
Oh yeah. No, not near you. You want to say after you right now, yeah. Thank you. You know how it works? I have a little better.
The weather up there is pouring rain. Rain. Alright, I guess the roll plus one. Nice to see
Where's this live stream? YouTube. Links are in the chat.
One, no one here has storm. Two,
Oh, I didn't put it in the big chat. It's right there. Oh, you did that?
Let me modify his roster. Rob's not going to let me modify your roster while you're in the middle of the match, so at the end, I'm just going to have to
What's down there?
I was charging these things. I was trying to get
I have a license.
I tried to get it to work. I didn't recognize the yeah, I know. I thought it would be. They recognize it. Because it is a new setup.
Good. Special stuff. Not a ginger root.
let's go.
yeah, like
I know there was going to be a lot of pressure, and I don't know. I don't want to walk. When we drive up, we'll see what it's like. And if it's like really bad, I know. How much is
That's how it always talks. Yeah, I bet you do. You're not bored in any of these people.
I had lunch at 11, so I'm hungry now.
no, I don't have today.
Sounds like you've been working hard.
As I'm here, more often, as we go
Okay. Oh, did you play in the tournament for Knuckles Wild? Knuckles Wild was a lot of fun. You come to the turkey bowl that's happening here? Did you sign up? I think it's limited on seats. Ancient City is another one that's happening soon. The turkey bowl's happening in November. You're in Ancient City? I've got another commitment, so I can't make it.
It's your kick.
You have two coaches.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Straight up. We each got a Necessary violence until the end of the draft. Any player on my team that calls a penalty. There's 3 as knights and 2 as give him a couple of
do a single home racks on that.
have a good game. Have fun.
First things first.
The match is officially underway with Gobra kicking things off, being the coach to first take their turn.
A lot of players need the code posted up here.
If you're not familiar with Josh the Bear Wojcik,
Only my catchers are.
then the first thing you should know is that he preferably likes to kill every elf on the pitch. So his goal is going to be complete and utter annihilation of the elves. If Rob's team, Action at a Distance, doesn't win the championship match tonight, I have a feeling they're going to be coming back for a second season. So I think Rob's going to be playing a little bit safe with his players to see how many survive the match to come back if he doesn't pull off the win.
This way first.
Thanks for loving Blood Bowl.
So Josh is using our custom block dice that we got from Maelstrom Gaming Mats. Every coach who participated in Brevard Game Lounge's first season got a set. Gorgeous looking dice. If you're in need of dice, reach out to Jack Petruccia. He is fantastic, does an amazing job, takes care of a lot of our stuff at Florida Blood Bowl. Looks like we got one elf stunned on the pitch. The Goblin Fanatic was very gentle this time around. Looks like the head coach of Gobra is getting some secret messages from some cameramen who are operating on the sidelines, trying to read the Elves playbook.
It's true. We're not actually going to use them, but we do want to read them.
Yeah, the Elves are way too smart for that. It's probably a fake playbook.
So my blitz. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So reading through some of the chats here, it looks like Mark Train disagrees with me and thinks that the Elves are going to go all out. It almost sounds like he's related to the head coach. No, just coincidental, yeah.
He's not biased at all.
Not biased at all.
Your attention. I'm going to do a roll call for make sure we've got everyone. Don't think I have.
Should have 12 when Bree gets here.
Bree.
Bree's here.
Hi, Bree.
For those of you with a keen eye, tonight we're playing with Charlie Victor's ball token, made by the incredibly talented Duncan Holman, who apparently doesn't know how to make anything horrible. Everything he makes is gold. Let's see how long those goblins can hold on to the ball. Gotta love the fashion statement that troll is making tonight with that giant white cowboy hat.
So actually, we have 13 tonight.
Even the guy who took completed
Some honor players. Total roll call. Tom Maxwell.
Underwhelming.
Brandon.
He ran the score up to 0.
David Fernandez. Keegan.
Very first one of the game.
David Fine. Joe Hopkins. Marcos. Pedroza. Jared Hoppy. Alex Winter. Victor Cochran. Matt Silvernail. Smitty. Mike Smith. And Bree Bart. Okay, starting the event. Your pairings should be on your phones. It's up to me up front to control.
I can see the dice. I just didn't know if it was
Well, I mean, it does a bad focus on it every time. With the light, what David Scholar was like.
No. I'm just asking. I noticed it was on. So I didn't know if it was your picture or not.
It could be out. If it dies out, then we'll have to leave it out.
I mean, I have to give a space station. Plug it in and charge it. Oh, that would have
No, it can be, but it doesn't stay on that. But when it's fully charged, it lasts for a very long time.
Blood guys, can we move this stuff for you guys?
Yes.
Back to move it? Yes. Back to here, that work?
Bring them over here.
Yeah, over here.
Over here.
That was dramatic.
Alright, all my secret weapons keep doing
But when you go there, you like master up. I think there's two big goals. Also, like going for it, individual match. Go over and kill myself. My star picture. Like, is it really? Oh no!
So we just got an admission from Rob, the head elf coach here for Action at a Distance. He was going for it, and his star player catcher, yep, he did not make it. Ended up killing himself. So a little bit of, what do they call that, Harry Carey for the match? Maybe it'll give him a little bit of mojo.
It's okay, cereal.
The goblins like that. They were cheering very loudly. It's all right, Rob. Get all your bad luck out of the way now. So when you're going for that, coast to coast pass, you can pull it off.
Punch this guy. I'm so sorry. What mixes me out is like the order changed for when I do different things. I can't get out now.
I don't know what
So this is where I do move up.
Unfortunately, all we can do is this.
So we changed up the angles on the cameras, folks, so the action is heading down towards the Elves end zone. So we wanted to give you a better view of what's going on here.
Sorry, it's going to look like that for a moment. I apologize, everybody. That's the best I can do. I mean, unfortunately, it's going to be blocking that. Can always make it bigger, but you know, I mean, it's.
Are they seeing this on the stream? They can see that on the YouTube channel. I don't really need that on the stream.
That'll be only for when you switch over to here to the red one. That's the single view.
Real big focus. Let it go.
If you like this view, you can keep it here, or you can switch over to that single view.
Guys, let us know in the chat which view you prefer, the single view or seeing both ends of the pitch with the dice in the middle. Getting feedback on this type of thing is going to help us build this moving forward as we plan on streaming many more matches to come. So any feedback is good.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
And we had a lot of help here at Brevard Game Lounge to make this happen. Good friend Chris Anderson helped us out with a lot of the OBS setup. My friend Carlos Cabrera from the Beans and Dice podcast, and if you're not familiar with that podcast, please be sure to check it out. They do more than just Blood Bowl. They also do board games and a lot of other different types of games. And I think they're based out of Tampa. Their home store is Armada Games over there. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate the feedback there. Thanks, Mark. That's some great feedback as well. It's kind of what we're looking to do is to go single view based off of the end zone that they're heading towards.
But I think he's special. He has to earn his paint job. Yeah, everybody. And actually, since they all went, next turn I'll turn. The only thing, remind me, like if they don't all go, then I gotta turn.
Not a bad idea. So, I mean, silver
Alright, another elephant prepare.
He's just
Another elephant prepare.
once he dies, he goes to the graveyard.
Like that.
Into your hand from outside of the game.
Women, all we need is food.
No worries there, Anthony. It's very early on. It's still 0-0. Gobra has the ball, and they're making their way down the pitch towards the Elves' end zone. What you did miss, however, was one of Rob's star player Elf catchers going for it, tripping, falling, and dying. So he's rotting away in the red box. Oh, he apothecaried. Nice. He was rotting away in the box. Then he apothecaried, so we're all good. Thank you, Raven Manser. Appreciate the feedback. I kind of like the both angles as well.
I don't want to go to waste and have to bring the lunch home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I already kept on dodging.
Elves doing what elves do best, dodging out of tackle zones. Does Gobra have any tackle on their team?
They don't really have these switch They don't really know what they are.
So Gobra's still trying to figure out who they are. We have no tackle on that team, so the elves are probably going to have an easier time dodging in and out of tackle zones, through tackle zones, basically doing elf bullshit, what they normally do.
Like late game, it's really good to like the dodge.
Did anybody give any suggestions? Anybody offer any suggestions?
And then this way.
Then switch over. I can actually do it. I can make it quicker. I don't mind.
Turn 3.
I apologize, everyone. I'm just going to quickly go ahead and make the screen to switch left and right. Hopefully, you're not bothered by that. You know, this is our first setup.
3. I'm gonna go for all. All right. He's gonna turn this one. Which way you go? Now 1, 2.
Okay, so basically anytime
Same direction.
anything would go wrong, and with counts, and sacrifice to play any one of those spells.
So, Alex, so, no, it's great. Alex lives well.
All right.
Alex stand up and Jared last minute. So our standard is if 2 people cancel, we just
I'll go ahead and
I don't know the specifics of what either of them are doing, but they said that feelings about missing. Or about not missing this.
I think 11 might be a decent. It's just an image.
Yes. After we do that, can I? No, you lost the whole entire grid on the. Can I use like?
Now, when you say go,
Yeah. Which is the region.
Oh, the whole red grid?
Yeah, the whole. That's what we see out there.
Yeah, I just.
Oh no, I know, because it's a minute delay. Oh, it's a minute delay. So I actually said it out loud that I was going to repair and make another side. I'm switching. I'm doing a single rhythm, so it looks different.
just want to make sure we have to look up like.
Oh yeah, I'm fixing it.
We're using about 62.
I'll block that.
Also, note that the use of Apothecary comes before any other attempts to heal the player. This includes the use of skills or traits or other in-game effects. Well, you didn't use your I mean,
Huh?
yeah, you still have your triggers. It's a little
Did something happen? It seems like it got unplugged or something.
Alright guys, let's not repeat that ever.
Two Resolute triggers. I'll play this tap. And then this card. That's on top.
Yeah, I know. Now it's gone. Yeah, now it's actually totally gone. See, look at that. It's even gone from here.
Well, the only way that we know to bring it back is to shut it down.
Yeah, me neither. I bet you while I was doing it on live stream, it messed it up.
You can try removing it or adding it to see if it'll make a difference.
Super smart troll.
Worst case scenario, you have to use one material that the drive is going out like power.
Yeah, see? I mean, I have it set to here. I mean, it's fine. But because I switched it, it took it off all the way.
Thanks for your patience, people. It looks like we're making some camera adjustments here, and in the midst of doing so, we lost one of our cameras. So until we can figure out a way to get it back, we may just be using one large camera in the Dice Tower cam. So this is a learning process for all of us, and we're going to get better and better with each live stream that we do. Of course, John, you like both angles. This way you can see more of your beautiful pitch.
That is really cool, this bitch.
The only thing I'm doing is removing it and then trying to re-add back as a. But I don't know if you can do it on the stream.
Yeah, see, I can't. See, it just went back to this. Huh?
Did you know
But, yeah, but I didn't know them so well, so I just did it my hand.
I am. So when do you choose to use
I don't need to now because you get the kicked out. It's only when you don't get the I can't use it now actually. Well, I can on the engine, but
I guess we're gonna have to keep it there for now. Oh, it did die out. It doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. Actually, it does seem to be a deal. Look at that, it keeps it focusing.
Slide it now and see if you can use it later for the second half at least.
Oh yeah.
one of them is not a tournament, one of them is a tournament.
It's still a turn because I failed to argue the card. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, do you want me to
Either way, it's my last character.
to make sure he stays in play?
Well, I know he stays because of this.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, I want
I failed to argue. Yeah, he probably.
It's under foul.
You need more than
Foul. Fouling 43 and 60.
What happened to the character? So if he fails argue.
You failed to argue. And then you bribe, see the bribe. So then the character misses a pitch and it's not a fair shot.
That's what we're looking at. Does he stay on the pitch?
Yeah, with a bribe.
Gotcha.
Jared, argue the call, even if you succeeded, still.
It was 5 lands, a little drifter, and a bird.
It describes the going out.
Where's it described the bride?
All Lipsies I
Bribes, if you succeed a bribe, it's not a turnover and you stay on the bench.
Not sent off.
Got it.
No turn for this card. So run was listed. But yeah, if you got a 1 on argue, then you can't use the bride.
Ready? Red.
Like you said, and you were down, right? Yep. Okay, my turn 3.
Blue. Yeah, look here. That took a minute. All I had to do was I unplugged it and plugged it back in and it worked.
Chris is so modest. I wouldn't be able to do that if it took me 10 years, and he did it in less than 2 minutes. So we have the alternating angles, so we're heading into the blue end zone, and we're heading into the red end zone. As we're heading into the blue end zone, we were picking up some of the Magic players, but we were able to cut them out. Yeah, you can see some of the people we have in the stands today. We have a Wood Elf team. We really didn't see much Blood Bowl action this season, kind of just hanging out. Somehow somebody let in a bunch of bears. I don't know what that's all about. I'm sure a bribe went through. There's Joe Hoffman's worst nightmare, my Minotaur, that's hanging out in the stadium. I think we have, what's that one Snotling's name that for Jared's team?
I don't know if I'm going to bring Turkey Brawl though.
What's that one Snotling for Jared's team?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler's in attendance here. I thought it was Tony Danza for some reason. I must have Elton John on the brain.
4 for the hit.
Turn 3 in the first half, and the Goblins have still managed to hold on to the ball. Elves are slowly but surely breaking down that Goblin cage. That rusty Goblin cage. Ravenmancer brings up a very good point. Unfortunately, our second season Brevard Game Lounge commissioner is on hiatus for this weekend. He's at Trader Con, which I think is going on in Orlando, where they're playing false games for a false god, not Blood Bowl. So the only god we respect around here is Nuffle. But I'm sure he's having a good time and watching the match on the live stream here. Speaking of the commissioner, he's in the chat and he's dictating that elves must die. That sounds like a little bit of favoritism coming from the commissioner.
The troll vomited on himself. They gave himself an NI.
The troll just vomited on himself, and what did he do? He knocked himself out?
Gave himself a serious injury.
Serious injury from the vomit. There must have been something sharp in that vomit stream. Right in his eye, and he failed the regen. That's not going to bode well for the Goblin squad of Gobra. The Elves looking for any advantage they could possibly get, and that was a huge one, with Gobra losing a little bit of their muscle, making it just that much easier for the Elves to do what Elves do. It's like a coin flip. Dodge or bullshit. Bullshit or dodge. Now the commissioner's backtracking on what he said about elves dying. Little known fact, yes, Ravenmancer, that trolls are known for eating glass bottles as potato chips. Gobra coaches are formulating a plan to get that ball into the end zone. Got plenty of time in the half, only on turn 4.
It's in the big picture here.
Elves are going to have to dig deep and come up with some of that dirty elf defense. I don't know if that's a real thing. I just made it up.
Pyramid thing. It looks like a pyramid inside of a pyramid. That one is like rainbow shawl thing. I don't know what it's Egyptian thing, whatever it was.
While we're on the subject of dirty defense, Coach Rob Train, do your elves ever foul?
We'll see. I have a bias ref, but I still
Okay. Yeah, fouling's kind of a thing where it's either you do it or you don't. I don't really see many coaches kind of doing it between. Very polarizing strategy there.
I have an expensive player. Still have a bias ref on my side, but
Oh, yeah, then I drew my 2 Urza Sagas back to back.
I would not be surprised if
Who I
Cameron was
had
the most,
19.
most picked
I just,
team.
I which is,
I have the cross
you never want to do that, especially in a deck that's trying to be super consistent.
Let's go from here to here.
Honestly, go back and watch the game. Yeah, I was just waiting for the top 5 one, and it just that's why Urza Sagas are not going to be great.
Let's hear your predictions, Blood Bowl fans. Who do you think is going to win this match? Is it going to be the Goblins of Gobra or the Elves, action at a distance? And who can predict the final score? Go ahead and put your predictions in the chat, and then we'll see who comes closest at the very end of this championship Season 1 matchup.
Yeah, but I lost.
Oh, Blood Bowl is either stunt or bash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw earlier that you were drawing a light soul, so I know you have a light soul. The bobble. So yeah, you can just. Yeah, and actually no, you can't, because if he was getting counters, because it says he comes from behind with us, not when he comes in, he gets counters. So he does, if I had a instant sorcery, he would sneak in.
Yep. But
This is the
That's a catch here with sprint. Sorry. I'll go to 15.
cannot visions of beyond draw 3.
Dodge skill for the reroll. And he makes it. Showing those elves how to do it. Gobra slowly making their way down the pitch towards the end zone.
anyway. I'm just gonna try to hit word.
I'll get word.
And I'm actually gonna roll it. Can you actually try to get somebody involved?
Well, every time if it's on the pass.
Trust that.
Troll number 5 laying the smackdown on some elves, breaking elven armor. Here comes the injury roll.
7 plus 1.
A knockout for the elves.
Good job. You won?
Head coach Rob Treen is getting the elves ready to take their turn 4, I believe.
All my weapons haven't done anything, but you tripping. Control. It's like,
Yeah, that's just the spicy fun. All good fun.
I have one word for the elf coach right now: strategery.
you go to 8,
That's
then you go to
put them in your hand, and then from there.
If you guys are not familiar with it, tourplay.net is the platform that we've been using all season long to run our league. If you go to tourplay.net and you look under leagues and you look for Brevard Game Lounge, you'll be able to see all of our teams for the season, all of the coaches, all the players, everything. And if you look under score, you can actually watch this match in real time and see when the coaches are scoring touchdowns, causing casualties, and doing everything at every step of the game. If you're playing in a league and you're still using Excel spreadsheets or paper, it's time to give tourplay.net a try, and that is not a paid advertisement. That is just my opinion.
Is this the core Firewalker mirror? Or you have two and he has one?
Raven Manser says the Keebs are going down. I'm assuming he means the Keebler Elves. The Keebs. Wow, that's a good one. I've never heard that before. Chris K, Elves for the win. He's a believer. Patrick Padilla is predicting the Elves are going to pull out the win 2-1. Chris K saying the Elves are going to win 3-1. Wow. The Elves getting much love in the fan chat here. No love from the Goblin coach. That makes total sense. Unless he was lulling them into a false sense of security, and it's a trap.
We have no idea.
Yes.
9. Yeah, 9, but that's including like the one laptop and the one up there. 7. Okay, so 6. It goes up to
So 5 people really are watching it, except for the place.
5 or 6.
I'm watching it, he's watching it.
We're getting various reports from some of the staff that, as to the total number of people that are watching the match being live streamed right now. Some saying it's 500, some saying it's 900. I'm probably thinking it's somewhere in and around the 600 mark. Here's one goblin who's going to be taking a rest for a short while. Action at a distance, finally unleashing a can of whoop ass. Another goblin goes to take a nap in the KO box.
What happens is, like,
The elves are taking this very seriously.
I don't have a chance to kill him before you get to him.
Apparently there was much shenanigans in the locker rooms before the match. Many elves were embarrassed, and they are starting to put forth some retribution on the pitch.
Of my lightning bolt off of that. Because it was exiled.
I put it before game I got the championship.
Troll number 5 is just hanging out all by his lonesome out there with no friendly help. He's kind of just staring off into the distance, watching the sunset. Little does he know that there's a Blood Bowl match going on right behind him.
I missed.
The secret players, and I'm like, once it drops, I'm already like, I'm not buying it. I'm trying to get out.
You may cast one and spell. So you can't do but that's only if you once you cast one,
There's like 2 of them that are live.
But the first time we run
According to the local machine from above.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. It's not.
Huh? Either way, it's on YouTube, so it's saved on YouTube Live, the whole thing. Huh? It'll be saved on local. Half of it's going to be saved on local. What, the audio? Oh, yeah. It's going to be saved live on YouTube. And that's why, you see right here? I had the option to get rid of these old ones. This one was only for 4 minutes. This one was 5 minutes, and all you gotta do is just hit download, and it downloads the whole thing at highest resolution. So either way, at least it saves automatically to YouTube. Yeah, I know. Right? Oh, have you been switching when they go to the other side?
They're still on that side.
Oh yeah, it does.
Elves are making a valiant effort to stop Gobra from getting into the end zone. Gobra is also making a valiant effort to stop Gobra from getting into the end zone.
The Dominaria. I have to go check because you know I don't get any promo the last. I have 20.
Maybe they won't notice me doing that.
Every single.
That just looks better. I think because they've got tabs.
He does not.
Tap that card. Tap that card. That's it. Oh, you got it right.
If they rate their, using their, they will have, it's almost like a playmat with like glass over it.
It's like,
Gobra is only 5 squares away from the end zone, and at this point in time, the Goblin carrying the ball is wondering, how did I get here, and how do I get over there? Coaches are trying to figure out what play they want to call next.
Ooh, how did it get moved?
It's been hiding over there. Just don't need it on it. Just remove it.
Just remove it?
No, remove it. We don't need it on the stream. The chat is on YouTube. Nobody is going to read that chat on the stream. There you go. And where's the one that was there before?
Yeah, they weren't fantastic. They weren't.
You're like,
Better? You want me to make the other one like that, or just leave it the other one like that?
Like if I would have actually attacked with a knowing that I had a jump on.
I still very much worry about mine. I probably want like a
But yeah.
Sprint Surfy, he's gonna go for it. Sprint Surfy.
There we go. The Goblins are making their move. Watch those dice rolls. Oh! Here comes the rushes. Gilbert manages to get into the end zone with some sneaky dodges and some courageous go for it. Heading into the Elves turn 5, Gobert is up 1-0.
Both of these at the same time.
We're going to check the KO boxes and see which players have the nerve to come back for some more.
I tried to target a cavernous hole full strength. What you did avoid it. You did a move where you
Hey there, Mark Vaughn. Mark Vaughn is a pro coach of Goblins, huge Goblin fan. I'm sure he's rooting for Gobert this evening. And see if the Goblin Chainsaw manages to stay in. Nope. We'll be bribing in order to stay in the match. Yep. Ooh. Failed to argue the call, but bribery and corruption will allow the Goblin coach to re-roll that. And 6, the argue is successful. So it looks like both secret weapons will be staying in the match. The Goblin Chainsaw and the Goblin Fanatic. That's right, nerdy guy. This game is awesome. So while the coaches are rolling for their players to come back from the knockout box, I just want to take a moment to thank the owner of Brevard Game Lounge, Don Ramsey, for having us here tonight and allowing us to be able to stream this match. It's been a fantastic season. What do we have, like 22 coaches, I think, for our inaugural season? Looking to have 24 coaches for the second season. For those of you out there who might be watching who don't play Blood Bowl, you're more than welcome to come down. Get in touch with any of our coaches who'd be more than happy to show you how to play the game. Brevard Game Lounge is the home to the BGL Blood Bowl League, and also their second Blood Bowl tournament is going to be coming up, Turkey Brawl, on Saturday, November 27th, a couple days after Thanksgiving. It is a capped event, 30 coaches maximum, and there's going to be a free turkey lunch / dinner for all those who attend. So if you're itching to get into some Blood Bowl action, whether it be league or tournament, come on down to Brevard Game Lounge, and you'll be able to scratch that itch. And no one will judge you for scratching that itch, no matter where it's at. We have all different kind of ointments.
I don't really care either way. It's just like,
No, Mark is staying carefully neutral. So he's a, how's that saying go? He's a goblin supporter out in the streets, but an elf supporter in the sheets, or something along those lines. Sorry, Mark's got the right idea. You got to support everybody, every team. Except for dwarves. Nobody likes dwarves. That's right. The elf coach is definitely going to agree. We didn't have a single dwarf coach in season 1, did we? That's right. That's why we have a stunning team in the championship. Commentary is doing the best that he can.
I need like a marker for my barber and corruption. Because you only get one match.
I think Charlie and Victor have something like that, don't they? Like a token, what do you mean?
Yeah. Just the bribery and corruption, but not bribe.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have one. In this day and age, you can have just about...
Special token just for Griff.
Oh, well, yeah. Griff deserves his own special token.
You can make like tokens for all special characters.
You can use one of those tokens that come with the Goblin team, like from the GW.
If I start playing undead here, and I may, if I get to the rest of my deck, I really want to use those cannons. I will. Just the idea of the chainsaw before regen is hilarious. This is actually my first experience with bias.
I had to spend money. I felt like I had to do it. I had to try.
Head coach John Rivers, who is the coach of the Amazon team Rivers Fury, of course he's going to say Amazons all day long. We actually are playing in the Amazon Stadium right now. Apparently they're off on holiday in Germany somewhere.
Or as the Germans call it,
German land. When you're at Amazon, it's always Oktoberfest. And when you're at Orc, it's always Orktoberfest. Ken Parks joins the chat. Big Blackwork coach. Had the pleasure of playing Mr. Parks at last weekend's Knuffles Wild 3 tournament run at the Holiday Inn in Vieira, run by coach Josh Wojcik, who's playing in this championship match. Currently holds the record for the highest attended Florida Blood Bowl tournament at 42 coaches. It was a great time. Ken and I had an epic match in round 4, his Tomb Kings versus my Necro. So to get Ken caught up and do a little bit of commentary here, the Elves are going to be receiving the ball, starting their turn 6 in the first half. The score is currently 1-0 with Gobra in the lead. I know. Goblins are. Goblins are giving gifts to the elves. I wouldn't trust them if I was the elves. I feel like there are bombs inside of those gifts, but see what happens.
There we go.
Start off with the 2 die here.
You usually do your turn marker before or after. Okay.
Legal procedure, right?
Not these days.
Only if you choose to use it.
That's a smart play for action at a distance to use their tackle skill to take down that goblin. He's got to take the pillows off of his fists.
Alright, he's gonna blitz this guy.
Here comes the blitz.
2, 3 for the hit.
Uh-oh. See a big ugly skull. That's not mine.
That's a good catch,
Hit,
Dave.
4, 5, 6.
The pressure's on for the Elves to score before the half is over. Some of those predictions may come true. I saw one that was a 2-1 win for the Elves. Who was that? Patrick Padilla predicted the Elves winning 2-1. Chris K a little bit excessive at 3-1.
1, 2, 3.
Season 2 BGL Commissioner Josh Biscotti has vowed to shave his beard off if the Elves win. So now I'm rooting for the Elves, as I'm sure as everybody else in
See
attendance.
what's under there. Are there like
I think so. I think there's a portal to Arrakis under that beard.
Place your bets on what's under Viscotti's beard after each.
I believe in the trouble planes.
Man, you're playing this. I see what is going on.
If it's not your beard, I don't want to know what you're shaving.
I see.
Commissioner Biscotti is predicting a 3-2 win for the Goblins to take it all in double overtime. Actually had quite a few overtime matches in the playoffs. My Chaos team playing against Connor's Ogres went into overtime. I believe Rob Treen's Elves, who are playing in the championship match here, went into overtime against Joe Hoffman's Imperial Nobility team.
I give a Kaz to a random.
I think I
Through my very own experience, I would highly suggest being drunk while playing Blood Bowl in overtime. It certainly makes it a lot easier to digest.
That's a good test there, man.
I'm speaking from experience.
Oh, no. You're totally right.
This guy, I don't know if it matters.
Yeah, because if you want to track it, that's fine. Maybe it becomes like a new
Matter
favorite.
later.
Yeah,
So action at a distance is doing all the easy stuff first and moving players downfield.
Let's go 8 to 2.
You still see their thrower all the way in the back of their side of the pitch, holding onto the ball, looking for an opening, an opportunity. Head coach Gobra, Josh Wojcik, wasn't wrong. Looking at the players on the pitch, I don't see many skill bands on those goblins, only a few, but the elves look pretty well and stacked. Let's see if those skills come into good use as they make their offensive push down the field to the red end zone.
Trying to identify a target.
Elves got the ball. They're going to start a slow, well, not too slow because they're already on turn 5, so they're halfway through the first half. So if he scores, I'm pretty sure he gets the ball back in the second half. We'll have an opportunity. A lot of the predictions were indicating that the Elves are going to win 2-1 or 3-1, so we're going to see how true that is. Yeah. Absolutely. The Goblins are very lucky with secret weapons. They managed to use one bribe to keep in the Looney, and they managed to argue the call and keep in the Goblin Fanatic.
Oh.
So they certainly had some luck going into the next drive.
Yeah.
Chris K, it is turn 5 in the first half.
yeah, it was like you went literally like go up to 5 immediately. You like clean up the board.
Gobra only has one troll left on the pitch at this point, and he looks very angry. I wouldn't want to be in his way.
You were terrible, I know.
Oh, you're usually dead by that point.
But considering what happened to the last troll who tried to vomit, will this troll do the same?
You were a burn plan. Thank you, Bobby. Please burn.
Chill out, Hank.
Love those BGL dice. For those of you who don't know, they were made by Jack Petruccia at Maelstrom Gaming Mats. Fine purveyor of neoprene pitches for Blood Bowl, or whatever other game you play.
Sometimes I actually my tattoo.
I want some gas on top.
I see 2. I see 2 in that.
Yeah, I had an express. To get his back, and I'm bringing
Dude, yeah, are you? I'm trusting you. I'll take off my freaking feet. It's just like my shoulders have like great shoulders. I'm trying to get my wing.
What causes the turnover?
That first match was brutal. I was at one.
So maybe like arm for you.
Hard to stand up.
Action at a distance going into their 6th turn in the first half.
4 for the hit.
Is number 5.
Mike Stanford, strong arm.
Oh, it's the 4 mana.
Oh, the bar.
Head coach Rob Treen of Action at a Distance is doing what every good Blood Bowl coach should be doing. When in doubt, always look up the rules in the rule book. Another goblin goes to take a nap in the KO box. Elves doing what elves do best. A 6 on the dodge roll, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I'm doubling my deck upside down, backward, they try to play sideboard. I'm with you.
Round 2 pairings are up.
Dog hair. I had 5 dogs. I found dog hair.
And in case you're here for the Magic the Gathering tournament, round 2 pairings are up. Here comes the Elven Thrower making his way up the pitch, looking for a receiver for that ball.
I'm struggling. That's
Well, I'm not making fun now. I don't play blue queen birds. Slow down.
3 instead of 2.
Was he here?
1, 2, 3.
Elves looking to form a nice offensive screen to give the ball carrier, the thrower, a little bit of protection.
I had to. I know. I had a horrible pass.
I hope you will.
Figure out.
Yeah, we did.
This guy?
A card that I had to go. That's how sideboard cards are supposed to work. You know what I mean?
Me and Alex are gonna team together.
I can stand here. I know.
Really, a card that like.
Elves are starting to flex a little bit of muscle on those goblins, moving them around the pitch, knocking them down, putting them to sleep.
Another casualty.
Casualty for a goblin.
Guess who was in debt?
I spent way too much money for my right. I grabbed one
That's amazing. Where did you find that?
Actually, I bought them earlier.
No, this guy's gonna hit this guy.
Elves are starting to get a little bossy, a little pushy. The numbers are looking to be in their favor. Goblins move on to turn 7. Start picking up the pieces to see how they can build a good defense to stop the Elves from scoring before the half.
really it would create two halves.
There's a way, but it's.
People are like, oh, I give me a 3 and then they throw one die and it's 1. It keeps an eye out. Yeah, interesting. Oh, my companion is also here. Oh, I see. Oh, yes.
Like, you're gonna lose number, right?
I'm just trying not to push the table back with my guts. I'm gonna be like butt to butt with Joe. I mean,
The Goblin number crunchers are over there trying to figure out exactly what a number is so they can crunch it, come up with a good plan here to stop these elves. No, they don't know what numbers are.
Like last week, they rolled up in his VP.
Commissioner Josh Biscotti apparently is going to enroll in Clown College if the Goblins don't win, so we're all looking forward to that. Pretty sure that Brevard Game Lounge will pay his tuition to attend Clown College.
I'm not now.
That's right, Mark Vaughn. It is looking a little dire right now for those Goblins. It looks like we have at least 3 in the red box, it looks like. And only 1 in the KO box. However, going into the second half, Gobra was fortunate enough to be able to reserve their secret weapon, so they're going to be making another appearance on the pitch. So that's also going to play heavily into how the second half goes. I believe Action at a Distance will be receiving the ball in the second half, but with those secret weapons on the pitch, they can easily make up the difference in numbers. Shocking.
It's like after my first turn, I got nothing.
You could have waited. If you were a little braver, I'm going to walk.
I can fight up. You guys need to see. Yeah, you gotta see this.
Oh, God.
Well, Biscotti tattoos BGL on his face before he goes to Clown College. I'm pretty sure that would make you a gangster rapper. So that would end your Clown College career, but you'd have to go back to California where you're originally from and embrace your career in the rap game. It looks like the Goblins are mounting a mighty defense here against the ball carrier. You got a Goblin on his 3 and a Goblin on his 9. Is this a 1-die blitz? 1-die blitz on the ball carrier. Skull into a reroll and another skull. That Goblin put forth a mighty effort, but he wasn't able to do anything against that elf ball carrier. A little bit of intimidation going on there, I think. Action at a Distance moves into turn 7. The pressure is on to get that ball down into the end zone. He's got 1 Goblin tagging him. Should be easy enough for him to dodge away or blitz him off the pitch, but we're going to see what happens. The Troll with yet another daring fashion accessory has traded out his cowboy hat for a dunce cap. Well, we didn't see that coming. Well, unlike Mark Vaughn, who's on the fence between the Goblins and the Elves, looks like Ken Parks is all in for Gobro. Very disappointed that Gobro was not able to make that blitz happen. Nuffle had his way, and we saw 2 skulls, a wasted reroll. It sounds like Nuffle. Here comes the blitz. He got what he needed. He was able to knock that Goblin straight into the crowd, and the fans go pretty easy on him, just sending him right back into the reserve box.
Because it says and target player, right?
I would like to deal 3 damage to you.
I'm gonna exile an omni after draw.
Elves throwing some more blocks before they decide what they want to do with that ball. Another goblin gets a mouthful of sod. The fans are rioting. Tacos are being thrown at the Jumbotron. Amazon security is going to have to be called in to quell the rioters. And the Elves squander their opportunity to move that ball a little bit further down the pitch. Time travel has been incorporated now, and we're going to go back in time and use a reroll. Smart move.
But like, if it was a card is here, like he still takes 5 damage.
Push is certainly better than the both downers, though.
Okay, now let's go this game.
Goblins are just being haphazardly pushed around the pitch. The Elves are seemingly having their way at the moment. Another block. Big 3-die block. And he gets the pow. Goblin eats sod. The armor breaks. Says pillow fists. Apparently that elf likes that goblin. It's like, just lay down. You won't get hurt.
Or even if you had like there was a wrench on top of the deck, which I was gonna cycle into.
Action at a distance seems to be in full control of the ball on the pitch at the moment.
Did I literally survive that?
Another 3-die block yielding another push as the goblin inches closer and closer to the edge of the pitch and into the fans. Where at this point they are still riding, still throwing tacos at the Jumbotron. Elves risking the foul. Wanting to remove as many goblins off the pitch as possible. Does not get caught by the ref. Manages to get away with the foul. Doesn't break any armor. The Elves of Action at a distance are literally seeing red as the end zone is right in their sights. It's going to come down to whether or not Gobra is able to muster the defense to stop them from scoring before the half, which could potentially set up a tie going into overtime rather than an Elf win. Anything could happen. It's still early in the game. Gobra taking turn 8. Some would call it desperate measures. Some would call it bold strategery. We have a troll trying to throw a goblin. Stunty goblins doing what they do best, dodging out of danger. And this goblin is suicidal, going right back into the danger zone, tagging the ball carrier. Here comes the blitz, looking for a 1-die block. Another dodge, easy peasy goblin squeezy. No fear dodging away from those elves with a nasty tackle. Here comes the blitz. Well, it would have been the blitz. Going for the rush. Nuffle strikes him down. Turn 8 for the Elves. It's do or die time.
I'll go ahead and pay 2. That's right. Because that's hers is solid. We're gonna find shadows now.
Handoff.
Goblins have called in some moral support as head coach Brandon Lefebvre comes in, otherwise known as Snotgasm.
Good job.
And the Elves pull off the touchdown before the half, making it 1-1 going into the second half of the championship match here at Brevard Game Lounge. Super exciting. Tight game. Heavy on offense, heavy on defense. And now we're going to see what happens as the Goblins' secret weapons come back onto the pitch to turn the tide of battle.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Goblins trying to argue to call to keep another player onto the pitch. They succeed with the bribe. The ref looks the other way. Which Goblin was that for? Oh, the Bomber. So the Bomber is coming back. So the Goblins are stacked with secret weapons. We're going to see if the Elves can survive moving the ball down that pitch. Action at a distance is getting the ball at the half, right? It's going to be a much different trip down the pitch this time as opposed to the last time. Goblins pulling out all the military hardware to try and stop them from scoring. Commissioner Biscotti could be right. This could be going into quadruple overtime. Thank God tomorrow's Saturday and none of us have work. Or bad. Depends on your outlook. That's a no-no.
In a restaurant in
We ordered some pizza if you're hungry. Goblins are setting up, coming up with the best strategy to stop those dirty, dirty Elves, according, in their opinion, not mine, from crossing over the end zone again. Pretty sure I see 2 Snotlings laying a tripwire along the red end zone. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Apologies, Lord Antoine. Apparently, the Elves did remember to tie their shoelaces this time around and did not trip going into the end zone. Chris K adjusting his prediction. About to go down 2-1 as opposed to his earlier prediction of 3-1. 6,200 coaches watching the stream right now through Cabal Vision. Well, there were some bribes that have gone through to possibly fluff those numbers. Yeah, we always try to, hire a fluffer every now and then. Elves making sure they're hydrating. Head coach Rob Treen making sure he drinks a little bit of the bubbly. Blood Bowl is a pendulum. First drive at 10 of the favor to Goblins. They did really well. Were able to get that ball in after 5 turns, giving the Elves 5 turns, which is probably 4 too many, in order to give them a shot at getting that ball into the end zone.
all the pickups would have been 2+. The catch, I got a 6.
It's a little too late now.
But it's still fun. Yeah, thank you for
Well, I'm going to say it's no longer.
Oh.
Because we haven't been playing with the first half.
Right. So I would say keep it.
I don't remember the rules for pickup. I never picked up the ball. He picked it up one time and only one time. Who knows what it was? It really wouldn't have played much, right? My catch, I rolled a 6. Your one pickup, that's literally the only 2 rolls he would have.
It's history now, but I agree. Yeah, let's keep it perfect weather.
That's crazy.
Apparently, Gober's having some technical issues with the weather dominator. Should have been rain, then it turned into perfect weather. Not complete. No, it's not going to be complete until they win this match, and then they'll have the money to buy the parts to complete it. That's what they'll be doing. That's what they'll be doing in the off season.
Gober's last year. At least this season. Maybe season 3. I don't want
Bears. Head coach Josh Wojcik making the announcement that he's going to be retiring Gober for the next season and bringing the Bears onto the pitch. I think preseason match the Bears did pretty well, except they had some trouble with the Nurgle team, eh?
You know, it was rough.
Pretty sure that Coach Zach Lerman sold the soles of his shoes in order to pay off Nuffle to have his way with the Bears in that preseason match. Elves trying to put together a stable offense here to take on the Goblins, who have a lot more firepower during this drive than they did in the previous one. Chris K wants to know what weapons are on the pitch. I believe we have the Fanatic, we have the Bombardier, and do we have the Looney? They're all out. Full frontal. It's going to be a bloody, bloody drive as the Elves make their way down the pitch.
You die. The trigger. Yep. I need to Are you sure
Commissioner Josh Biscotti letting all the other fans know that he is not wearing pants while watching the live stream of this championship match. Not sure what to make of that. Wow, is that a hell of a kick on the Goblin squad. Coffin kicks it right into the corner of the Elves end zone. Let's see if it scatters out. 3 on the kick. Head coach Rob Treen consults the book, which is a smart move. Ball is going to scatter to the 5, which stays on the pitch, making it just a little bit more challenging for the Elves to pick up that ball and get it down to the end zone.
That's it. It's just the 2
I don't have
Still having the sacred founder of it was like, yes! Still got a life.
Five for the hit.
I'll definitely be like, oh, is that life game? Yeah. Yeah, and then this can be the restroom.
I told you, I'm 5 for the hit. I don't dare go for it.
You mean the bear and the day of my daughter's wedding?
Going for it has had some severe consequences throughout this match so far.
He doesn't know when someone's got a skull crack waiting for sure.
I can't stop the fire. It's really
For those of you who are looking for the ball, the ball is hiding behind the dice, the red dice in the blue end zone, waiting for an elf to take his shot at picking up the ball.
Really, because like the nice part about it this is not to do it, and this section does well. Only if I try to go here to deal with.
Elves doing elf things on their offensive drive in the second half here. Looking to block as many goblins as they can from sneaking past their line, take a shot at picking up that ball. Yo, elf thrower picking up that ball. Easy peasy elf squeezy.
Alright, Jared, let's look back at your binder again.
Typically.
99 or 90. When we first got our kitchen table, it was about the same height as this one. His parents' friends gave us a kitchen table with chairs. So we only had our tiny little beach chairs.
Turn 2 for the Goblins at Gobra. Looking to provide the answer to the question that the Elves threw their way during their first turn of the second half. Commissioner Biscotti coming out and offering up his support for the Goblins. He's very proud of them. I honestly wouldn't trust anything he says, though, because he coaches Tomb Kings. I don't know what that says about him. Here we go as the Goblin Fanatic starts to make his way around the pitch. Looking to beat up and bully as many elves as it can get in his way. He's got an elf right in his sights. Still can't seem to connect with the elf. Debating whether or not he wants to go for it. Which, as we've already stated, going for it has not been a good strategy so far in this matchup tonight. Ooh. Nuffle again having his way with the dice rolls this evening. A lot of double skulls, a lot of skulls tonight. Which really is kind of like every other Blood Bowl match, I suppose. The reroll has been burned. Dice have been rolled. Yeah. And an elf is eating some sod. This should make the fans pretty happy. No armor break. So that elf will live to fight another turn. Another elf falls down to the pitch. His armor going to be broken. No. The troll forgot to take off his pillow fists. He is operating on his own, so he really isn't receiving commands from any of his goblin helpers. So sometimes he really doesn't know if he's, helping him go to sleep, tickling him, feeding him, giving him a piggyback ride. We don't know. There we go. Now number 5 has some guidance, so we'll see what happens on the next turn.
What's your easy blotcher with tackle going on? He catches like
That is a word that no Goblin coach wants to hear. Lodger. Addressing Commissioner Biscotti's, the Tomb King should be a stunty team. I think more than tacos would be thrown at the Jumbotron if that was the case. Snake eyes. Tis but a scratch. Goblins have been having some very good success with their bribes and arguing the calls, but it looked like in that instance they were attempting to foul one of the elves and it got ejected.
To get the math out, like that first one, you want to go harder than the other. Keep them above lightning. You know what I mean?
Action at a distance, taking their time and moving that ball down the field, not giving the Goblins more opportunity to score to tie it up if they're able to produce the touchdown on this drive. More skulls. A big break on one of the Goblins. Stunned. I'll hurt the little fella. Looks like he's going to go and take a nap. Contrary to popular belief, tacos are not projectile weapons.
Hey, Fernandez. Question.
Action at a distance, looking pretty confident as they make their way closer and closer to the end zone.
You don't have priority because it's a mana phase. You don't get priority. So like, if before you bolt, and he gets to generate the mana, and then if he does
The dreaded rush.
like in response, I bolt your creature.
So with the galvanic,
With the galvanic on the that's how that works. But this is gonna be so TP because of that guy.
So this still dies, right? 'Cause
And
he's
then this goes over here too because how damage works.
which is just my least favorite part about Void Walk. Never avoid giving it
Goblin Bombardier trying to light the fuse to get ready for the next round, and an elf sneaks up behind him. That's going to be problematic.
Actually, Magnus Bridge.
stand up and dodge.
I'll play crop cell.
I'll give you a galvanic.
One turn too late.
Yeah, and then not with the.
But I'm dead.
Yeah, or the that and
Do it. Oh, man.
the new hierarchy. Now you can do.
Here comes the rush.
I don't like that it's a spirit. Other than that,
Easy peasy elven squeezy.
So.
Sorry for hitting the camera.
That's not good, but like.
They are enchanted by it, so it's an enchanted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll activate Urza's Saga.
It's changed the views as the elves are getting closer and closer to the red end zone here.
Then I'll attack for 2. So
What's that?
go ahead.
Probably gonna end up playing burn, but like,
Just want to play it out.
I know this is a very good deck. I know that it's like Murtide is one of the best decks.
Murtide's a fun card to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
No, I'm probably gonna end up playing burn.
Goblins of Gobra having a small powwow, trying to figure out how best to mount a good defense against these damn dirty elves, as some would say.
I just know if I'm into it against. I could play burn.
I'm looking to get a lot of damage in return. Like,
Fnatic roars to life and starts swinging his mighty appendage around the pitch. Hits a downed elf. Let's see what happens. So many double skulls. Goblin Fnatic making friends on the pitch. Three-day block against the elf in front of him.
Having 1 copy is essentially having 5 copies.
Yeah, and I would miss Bob. I know that I would fuck up his Bob.
He's got a few injuries, so it's 1-1.
For those of you arriving late to the live stream, we have Josh Wojcik's Gobra Goblin team versus Rob Treen's High Elves, action at a distance. We are in the second turn of the second half, and it is currently tied 1-1. Chris, the dice cam got a little out of whack.
which causes like every player to use it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it got bumped. I don't know if you want me to turn this around so you can see it.
Turn it sideways just a little.
Pardon us while we make some adjustments to the dice cam. We want to make sure that you can see every failed dodge roll or go for a roll, of course.
I'll fix it over there.
I've always so slightly. It's super rare.
And I'm just gonna stand firm again.
My doctor said I don't have the right person.
There's many direct.
We'll have to make it a little.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose. Alright, if I go.
Different style.
Everybody.
Thanks, Patrick, for the tip. We made some adjustments. Hopefully this will be a little bit better for you guys.
Yeah, I want to
These bridges, so they brought it back in a big way, and they printed this thing thought monitor.
Chris.
So it's basically second.
Is there any way to tilt the camera so that it's looking into the bottom of the dice tower?
Out more?
No, in more.
How's that look to you?
Put it on
Better?
a... We'll find out when they roll dice.
Yeah.
They were looking around for bolts earlier.
Better or more?
Just drop some dice in the thing so we can just test it quick.
I'm borrowing.
Because when it's not...
It's supposed to be like red black aggro.
No.
Raptors. What is this?
has to be looking inside the dice tower some. There you go. That's better.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
With the racket bands.
We got 4 different pies, so
I never grew
grab
one.
another chair, you can sit on top there. And,
I'll grab another one.
Bro, my draws against you were awful. You putting lands how bad I needed a land when they were just like, nah, we're good.
And we got one extra anchovy just for you, James.
Perfect.
I'm kidding.
I like anchovies and Caesar salad. That's fine.
Pull that out.
I also have no idea what any of
It's
these
the second half of the
are.
video.
Kind of just like, let's read this real quick.
Okay.
And then when you have no idea what you're doing, you're just like having to get up every 30 seconds.
Who got there?
You don't.
Ask Rob if he wants some
I
pizza.
have no idea what this deck does.
Yeah, to get an
Well, that'd be
instant.
really great. So if I could draw, I kept drawing like deal 2 damage, and he had like 6 6s on, and I'm just like,
I have learned that you have to play
oh no, but it's like unholy heat. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I gotta break the first tile shuffle.
she broadcasted 7 against me, and I'm like,
I didn't have any fun.
No, it worked out. I got it working now. That's the red and blue.
And then like a white like deal some or like exile card.
Because the screen looks the same. The screen looks the same, but when you switch it to the blue, it just looks blue. It's the blue end. Or switching it back and forth. Yeah, he is doing it. I guess you can.
What is it?
Sounds good to me.
The halfling chef just dropped off some pizza from Domino's, so hopefully it won't be chopping into the microphone.
I'm so happy you like it, dude. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of people there. Everybody went at it.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Ken. We were able to make those adjustments to the dice cam. Everything looks fantastic now.
I like these. And that's the first one for
Ask
them.
Nick if he'll start tapping.
12 viewers.
Short.
Normally, it's minus 20 is 6.
Oh, yeah.
Elvin Thrower is still hanging out in the back of the pitch, back of their side of the field, looking for an opportunity to be able to move that ball forward, not necessarily in a rush. So this they won't be giving the Goblins an opportunity for a second drive.
If I fumble, let's read the bomb here real quick.
That seems real hard. You can kill them with all
What do you think price-wise?
So what both coaches are doing right now, I highly recommend whether you're playing a league match, championship match, tournament, if there's something you're not familiar with, don't hesitate to stop the game and look up the rule. It's better than waking up the next morning and realizing that you played it wrong and you can't go back and change it.
I can try to interfere with it. You didn't interfere.
I can try to interfere with it too, but I'm not gonna try.
Oh, I do.
Here's one, two, three. It don't scatter from this spot, does it? After a while?
The bomb doesn't bounce. So it just hits, and then it hits them on 4, 5, or 6.
Correct. I'll try and interfere. On 4 up, I do it something my whole way. Let's make sure. And then 8 roll for
Real man will just go right in on your finger. I've seen it. I can't do it, but I've seen people do it online.
Yeah, there's a special.
Thank you guys very much.
We're gonna draw. We're gonna draw. Are you just gonna give the whole binder? Or you might want to go piece by piece.
All right, so the coaches have consulted the great rule book and decided on how they're going to move forward.
So it blows up on him. He interfered.
We'll see what kind of repercussions this wildly inaccurate bomb is going to cause. He was not able to catch it.
I've been pimped out like a year ago.
If you're wondering what's happening, if you're wondering what's happening, Bombardier tried to throw the ball, but he wildly inaccurated it to there. This guy interfered successfully, but did not catch it. So we're trying to figure out what happens with the. Does it land on him or does it go at D8? He successfully interfered, failed to catch it. It landed on him, bounces, it's a bounce. D8.
Because if he successfully interfered, that means he touched the ball, failed to catch it.
You can't interfere with your pass.
Okay, so it just didn't happen.
Okay, good. So you can't interfere. So actually he's here, so on a 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Do you want me to roll? So this guy goes down 4, 5, 6.
And everything's moving right along. You figured out how the ruling should be. Can't interfere with your own pass or bomb. So it looks like the Bombardier took out his own Goblin teammate. So the Apothecary will be used, allowing that Goblin to go back into the reserves for another opportunity to come back on onto the pitch. That effectively ends Gobra's turn. Action at a distance starts their turn 4 for the second half. I'm not sure what Gobra did to piss off Knuckle, but second half, a lot of Gobra's dice rolls have been very, very bad.
You know what they are when they're on the pitch? To play a slang.
Player blitz. Actually, no.
That is clearly marked. You can tell it's
Yeah, he is going third blitz. 3, 4, 5, 6 with a hit.
Looks like the elves are taking the fight to the Goblin's secret weapons. Blitz, and he just manages to push the Bombardier back.
My spell works way better than my side. Yes, it does. When you take over glasses. I take these off.
Elves doing elf things and throwing that ball, long bomb down the pitch.
Good job.
It happened so fast it was almost like it didn't happen, but the elves managed to almost go coast to coast and move that ball from the back of their end, that back of their pitch, all the way into the red zone. So action at a distance takes the lead, 2-1, with Gobra going into turn 4 of the second half.
Well, it's a good thing he's only playing 1 out of the 8 110. Otherwise, his match might be challenging, right?
It's going to get a little dicey for the Goblins now, having to try and keep all their secret weapons on the pitch again.
So I'm going to argue.
I am in control of the charging.
Chainsaw successfully argued, but did not come back with KO.
Oh. So at this point in time, the Goblins no longer have any secret weapons on the pitch. The Goblins are going to see just how much punishment they could take. Definitely on the receiving end of Knuffles' wrath or Commissioner Biscotti. We don't really know how far his tendrils reach into this match.
Yeah, so it should be fine.
Chris K has revised his prediction, going from 3-1 to 2-1, back to 3-1 now.
Modern players! I need to pay bills. Preparing for round 3 and rough.
They're on Bombay Road, but
Goblins are setting up their defense as best they can, or I'm sorry, offense. Defensively offensive.
Yeah, but that teach him a lesson, teacher. No, through the varying plays
I introduced him to this play day 3, so we're
Elves kick the ball, and it looks like it's about to go off the pitch. And then in another fell stroke of bad luck for Gobra, action at a distance gets the blitz. So those Elves are coming behind the line of scrimmage. To definitely toss a wrench into the Goblins' plans for moving that ball down the pitch. Worst possible time for a blitz. Bad luck for Gobra. Good luck for action at a distance. The Elves are trying to figure out just who they're going to throw the hit on. Here comes the blitz against one of the Goblin linemen. How he gets the knockdown. Let's see if we can break armor. Ouch! Big armor break. Injury is
it's on the way.
He wasn't over.
My companion is speaking to me.
He was open. He is open. It's the right side. So it's one, maybe my third week, right? He's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mark Vaughn is desperately shouting for the elves to consider the goblin children and to take it easy on those greenskins. Commissioner Biscotti is getting ready to go to Clown College. It is a wild night of Blood Bowl here at Brevard Game Lounge.
Can you be done now?
I don't know what you got, but
Over here.
The ball from the kickoff bounces to the troll.
The troll catches it about the American. That would have been hilarious.
The troll felt like he was being swarmed by a gnat and bats the ball away. And it lands right on the line of scrimmage. Gobra is going to try and make the most out of the ball being where it's at.
I'm going to try to be worse.
You're going to try and make it worse.
That's all I got. 1, 2.
Gobra has invoked the mighty George Costanza, so it can only go down from here.
I got a rice cake. My rice cake was pretty. You gotta wash it first. That is like.
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna do. You gotta wash your rice, massage it real
Yeah, you
good.
gotta
It's not going well for the Goblins.
Oh, this game's going great.
forget it will stick to the bottom.
The Goblins are trying to put some players on the ball, make it a little bit more difficult for the Elves to potentially pick it up on their next turn.
So how have these guys compared to the season? How they've been doing for the whole season there, James?
Well, I would say that luck has definitely fled the pitch for the Goblins. They've had a fantastic season in all their matchups, and they're getting a little bit of the elf shaft here.
He hasn't been breaking armor, which is just all around.
So it's that armor roll luck. Oh, that always gets you.
Elves are succeeding at doing what elves do best, moving the ball from one end of the pitch to the other.
Any more of that pepperoni?
In a clutch moment, the troll decides to stare at the sun until he becomes blind, apparently. Goblins throwing the one-die block. Can't see the dice roll. It's cut off from the dice tower, but I'm going to assume it's a 1. A skull. Same difference. Wow! Reroll into a skull. At this point, Gobra is playing against Gobra, and Gobra is winning and losing while the elves watch. Mark Vaughn has pretty much hit the nail on the head. With no weapons and an incomplete team, the Goblins are starting to get picked off not only by the Elves but by themselves.
It's all part of the plan. It's fine.
It is a master plan that no one can conceive of, not even the Goblins themselves. No one is considering the Goblin children at home.
Yeah, I have no idea. We don't know where they are. No curtains.
It's wildly inaccurate on modified.
The very best one is I need to make money here too. Alright, I got the test.
Pepperoni? The plate right there.
Roll the wildly inaccurate. Got through the forwards there. 6 squares forward. So the point where he was far enough out where I started to play against the throw. I have two players right out in front, like 6 squares ahead.
Well, it's good to see the Elves roll a skull, even though they're not going to take that.
I had to get around those guys. But because I was wildly, I went off to the side a lot further. Still 6 squares out. Minus 2 landing because we probably rolled 6. Stop landing, walk to touchdown. I have a per teammate touchdown. Per teammate touchdown with a wildly inaccurate. Sorry. Yeah, lost a lot of players. You get 3 star players with a per touchdown.
Elves declare the blitz. Here it comes.
It's 3 touchdowns, 2 strategies, 1 completions, 4 for MVP. That'd be what, 6 star players? Touchdowns twice.
Elves capitalizing on moving the Goblin away from the ball. Pick up that ball because the troll is stupid.
Used to be on a elf team, all of them were
If it's alongside of it, touching, yeah, it's going to be a pass. Yeah.
Here, would it be if I went for it?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that. Go for it.
Elves not wanting to give the Goblins an opportunity to get the ball. Elves throw a quick pass, get the completion, and pull off an easy score, making it 3-1, action at a distance, winning in the second half of this championship match against Gobra, the Goblin squad. Goblins are going to regroup. See what they can do about getting that ball into the end zone.
But you got your KO. You might get your chainsaw back.
See if the Looney wants to come back, and he does.
landing, and for halflings on Super Pro, the landing isn't free.
Nuffle definitely had his way on the kickoff result there, with the Elves getting the blitz. And 2 turns later, allowing them to be able to score with a quick pass from the thrower. Who scored that touchdown? Was that a catcher? So the catcher, and then the catcher easily strolled into the end zone with no one to stop him.
Okay, combat. Should have drawn it. You can't just force it. I'm like, oh no, my alpha order was in the graveyard. That shot
Lord Antoine brings up a very good point. Since they lost Gobra Commander, the lack of leadership is showing. They don't know that skulls are bad. He's not wrong there.
That's true. I don't have Is that 4?
2 to the 4.
Not sure why, but the elves seem to be just bribing officials left and right here.
Sure, I got the bias rep with 2 brides going.
They may be trying to bribe the Amazons out of their stadium. Gober off to a good start, making elves eat sod.
That definitely works.
Hand off.
Goblins pulling a play out of the Goblin playbook. Calling the handoff, might be looking to score the quick and fast touchdown. Looks like the Doom Diver has the ball and the Troll's going to try and throw the teammate. It's coming. It's coming.
Choose your spot.
I'm going to move first. I'm really hungry.
Troll is not hungry. Spent a lot of time eating flies while he was really stupid during the last 2 drives.
Yeah, it's good. As I'm wait a second, you're right. Yeah, I was trying to
See if we can get a picture of the Facebook page.
This way pictures of them playing 3 times period.
How's the commentating going?
Teammate. Did he manage to land in between those 2 elves?
We're getting there.
That's where he's starting his.
Oh, it's one of these rolls and 1 to 3, and then that's it. It doesn't go like 3.
The Doom Diver's different.
One of these rolls, he'll hit a 1d3, and that's how many scores he goes. He doesn't get to like reposition or position for position. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Yeah. Because it's a d3 square. Now you just position sideline. It doesn't say scatter, correct? If it says scatter, then it's 3 to 8.
It's a D63.
Yeah, that's it. It's not.
They do D3 squares, a D63.
He'd be way too low.
Sweet change.
Welcome to the show, Trevlin. So currently it is 3-1 with the L's action at a distance, coached by Rob Treen, up over Gobra, the Goblin team being coached by Josh Wojcik. During the last drive for the Goblins, the Elves managed to get a blitz, and they were able to capitalize on that 2 turns later and turn that into a touchdown. Some of the early predictions of the match were looking at some of the viewers calling a 3-1 victory, and so far that's where we're at right now. Goblins having a great opportunity here to score. They were able to get the ball to the Doom Diver, and the Troll was able to successfully throw him down the pitch. Now we're just trying to see which way the Doom Diver is going to go. And he's surrounded by 4 elves, but I wouldn't discount anything. Blood Bowl's a pendulum, and so far Nuffle's been having his way with Gobra. So the good luck could start flowing any moment right now. So all that Doom Diver has to do is land and make his way with maybe a rush or 2 and get into the end zone and bring it a little bit closer.
I think this is fine. Sweet change that nobody's been doing
Nobody did that. Chaos cover anywhere. It doesn't mean
No, now you know. It's happened a few times already this match, and I encourage it with every league match or tournament match. If you're ever in doubt, take a moment out of the game and pull out your rule book and look up, so that this way you're not living with a bad call, the next morning. I'd rather a hangover than a bad call at Blood Bowl. I think Lord Anton could be right here.
In the recap, we'll have a refs meeting.
There you go. Lord Antoine brings up a good point. Gobra beat John Rivers out of the playoffs. I'm sorry. Looking at me. Everyone's looking at me.
So what's going on?
Was he rated?
Nothing. Nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Okay.
So his swoop says does not scatter. It says it goes. You do this one time, and you see D3 squares. See how far it goes. And apparently,
It's not scatter as they normally do. No, not that they don't. Do not scatter as they normally do. So it's scatter using the 3D.
it says they scatter.
He's not using the D8.
As they would normally do.
They're saying he gets to do this 3 times with a D3 each time.
That's the way it's been
It doesn't. It won't go behind. It goes forward. It's just where it goes
One
forward.
time
No.
with a D3. That's it.
You do it 3 times.
There's no scatter. It doesn't say scatter. Yeah,
As normal, which means it's still.
it doesn't say but it's still scatter. Nothing in
It
there.
doesn't have to. It says those guys are normal. If it just said it doesn't scatter, it would say it does not scatter.
It's not, and you're saying it's 3 times with this and a D3 each time, so you can potentially go 9 squares forward.
No. I mean this 3 times, and I just picked the direction.
It'll be 3 squares forward.
Game of 20 life with 2 risen
What's D3? What's a D3 says?
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the D3.
Stop writing things.
Go ahead.
They do not scatter before landing as they normally would. Yes, because normally a goblin scatters before landing. Normally a
Scatter
gatherer.
as normal.
I mean,
Yes,
anything you
goblins
would say
normally
in
scatter.
response to Murtide.
He does not scatter like goblins normally do. It doesn't say this is how he scatters. Instead, this is what you do. Everything that follows is the instead. Instead, you place the throw in template over the player facing towards throw in template. So that's a D6 template.
Or
Facing towards the
D3.
end zone, or either sideline as you wish. The player moves from the target square D3 squares. Moves D3 squares in a random direction according determined by the D6.
It's still a max of D3 squares.
Very, very, very clear. This doesn't. It's not calling this a D3. It literally calls that a D6 according to the throw-in template.
I think you're overcomplicating it.
No, you're.
I agree with Rob.
It's very, very, very.
I agree with Rob. It's very different from what it used to be, but that's what it is now.
Yeah, they completely changed it. Goblins normally scatter. This doesn't scatter.
4,
No, they completely nerfed.
8, 9, 11, 15.
Right, it's not a scatter. A scatter's a D8. It's not a scatter. It's moving where he puts the directional 3 times.
Right. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says the directional is a D6, and it goes with D3 squares in that direction. Isn't that what it literally says, Jim?
The player then moves from the target square D3 squares in the direction determined by rolling a D6 and referring to the throw-in template.
There you go. See, it's not calling this a D3, and it says D3 squares in that direction.
So you're going to put the template over the player, roll the D6 to see which direction he's going to go in.
And he's going to go D3 squares, and that's it. There's no scatter. It used to be 3 squares, and you get the pick. Now it's maybe 3 and 1.
You can hold it and when Ronnie moves out, you can put it in there.
This game won't really matter, but that's how it should be.
Follow along with everybody saying.
That'd be hilarious. It's like all around Florida, you just hear.
A couple promos left, and then I would also.
Not for the really big
Still
ones.
go for that merciless
Doesn't happen often.
experience.
Top 8 is a win.
It's a
I think I would, after I'm done playing this match, I would for that.
I'm tired of almost getting there. I get so mad about almost getting there.
If I got to
So I roll this, and then it goes D3.
When I name Urza Saga, so when it gives the just killed her.
Yeah, I do. These I didn't even like. I was even just spot for you for Wednesday for
So the Doom Diver was not able to make the landing and ends up going off the pitch. And the ball is going to scatter in between 2 elves. That'll be a turnover with action at a distance taking the ball.
It's never been brought up in any tournament. Anywhere. It's crazy.
that would be an amazing piece right there.
That's the way it has been. Like
In the old rules, it was 3 squares maximum. And according to what you were saying, that's 9 squares maximum.
I was only expecting how it was.
I had 2 Oh, just 3 by Oh, the D3, you were thinking it was a template here. It calls that a D6 template. I thought it just said
But it would only have moved 3, not 9.
Okay. That's how, this is right.
For the record, I agree.
Okay, so I'm gonna blitz.
I know chainsaw breaks.
Chainsaw breaks.
All their deck is.
So if you haven't taken the time to do so, we've been playing this match using tourplay.net, which basically is the replacement for OBBLM. You're able to do your matches in real time, so when you score and you can see it happen. A lot of our coaches who aren't able to make it to the game store to watch a match are able to follow along on tourplay.net by looking up our league and watching the match as it unfolds in real time. Currently, this match has been going on for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Action at a distance, coached by Rob Treen, is winning 3-1 over Josh Wojcik's Gobra. The Elves have the ball. It looks like they are on their turn 6. And they're going to try and move that ball downfield one more time to see if they can make the score 4-1. It's been a rough match for Gobra, especially in the second half, with a lot of the dice rolls not going their way. So many ones, so many skulls, so little time. The ball is still loose, and the Elves are starting to position themselves around the field to give them a better protection in case one of those pesky goblins tries to dodge in and snake the ball away. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, Lord Antoine brings up a good point. Gobra beat head coach John Rivers of Rivers Fury and took them out of the playoffs. Now they're playing at Rivers Stadium, and there seems to be a curse there against Gobra. Coincidence or sabotage? Dun dun dun. Ghosts of Amazons. I would agree.
They're good throwers. They're pretty close throwers. At least good enough.
What did you have here? Is this always
I need to use my training. Trying to get better. I usually just have them standing.
If you have rerolls, don't be afraid to rush with them.
standing a second ago. I just wanted to
As long as you have rerolls.
So the reason that
You're always fine somewhere.
You don't have to have size. It's fine. That's what I said. Yes.
Elves looking to pick up that ball, do so easily enough, handing off to
The technical words for taking root is you can't.
an elf waiting to move that ball further on down the pitch. Here comes the handoff.
That's where now you should have rerolls go. At least take root.
no, I think that's a problem.
I never want to
Gobra surveying the pitch, looking to rebound from their run of bad luck.
We were right about this one, sorry. I just got frustrated because it would be that much surprise. It's just increased costs.
Rob?
Sorry if I can say that. I'm going to eat some after that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's also 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like it's
Who's got a memory game that said they don't need?
I'm talking about
Get hungry.
Come on, what the red you want?
I am.
Randomly around. Lands on the 6.
I like all those veggies. What? I like all those
It's like a swoop. Felt the in a tackle zone. This is a rough game for Josh. Nobody's caught one on the swoop. Like it's been over a year now since 2020 came out. You know? He's not that hard.
Hey, I was gonna see if I could take your guys. Let's go get a picture too.
I was running 3
I know you want to. Do it. It's not stealing. You have it.
Oh, I thought you were saying you do what I did to him. I'm like,
That's a very gentle touch.
I grew up at the fire station. You have to be way worse than that to mess with me.
It's okay. My roommate was part of the crew team in college. To give you an idea, they've before challenged each other to just whip their dick out in the middle of the cafeteria and set it on the table.
I'll like put my head down and it'll fall off the crash.
And I like wanting the bolts twice. Or hey, you know, I And there you have it, folks. The Elves managed to get that ball moved down the pitch and score yet again, making the score currently 4-1. The Elves of Action at a distance in the lead. At this point, it'll be curious to see what the Goblins of Brevard do, if they're even going to acknowledge the ball or just try and kill Elves before the next season starts. Although with Rob Treen accomplishing his goal of winning a championship with the Elves, it's unlikely they'll be returning for a second season. It might take a season off to rest up. Mend broken hair. They have really tall hair. So early on, we had a couple of coaches with some predictions, and the tallest one was from Chris K with a 3-1 victory of the Elves beating the Goblins. So we're well past that now. Getting some support from the BGL commissioner, Josh Biscotti, quote unquote, the Goblins got this. I'm not sure what they got, but I'm pretty sure winning the match is not what he's referring to. It's not over. Goblins can still win. It's not over. Famous last words from Commissioner Biscotti. Goblins are still in it to win it. At this point, it sounds like Commissioner Biscotti is drunk and he's in it to win it.
No, I just stared like the building really quick. Kicking team, DJ plus 3. Oh my god. James.
Alright, you get a picture. Ready? 3,
6 players. Reset up.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good, you got my not ugly side?
Yeah, see, it's really one.
It's both sides.
Yeah, but if you had a solid.
Sometimes yes, and sometimes.
Hey, everybody gets one. You know what I'm saying? So,
Camera on wheels, that's awesome.
This is great.
Yes, it is actually. I'm impressed with it. Camera.
Camera? Oh, yeah.
On wheels.
I got it from those
and so,
Oh, there it is.
I want to switch cameras again too. This is really that way.
Sorry. Looking for that. Huh? Yeah, oh yeah. I love these things.
Small earthquake in the stadium, but everybody seems to recover just fine.
Game can go anywhere though, right, James?
That's right. Everything is set up really well. I encourage you, Mark Vaughn, be so charitable as to take care of the goblin orphans left behind after this these evil elves having their way with these goodly goblins.
Oh, he switches him?
Never mind.
Doing a good job there, James. Go switching back and forth.
Because I have a helper.
Someone's got to pay attention.
Yeah.
I buy the pizza, he pays attention.
Yeah, that's a good job.
Did I see Brandon come in and disappear?
He stopped by here to use the bathroom, so it's close to the safest room to 95 from on his way back home from Miami. And now he's out drinking with some friends right now that he hasn't seen in a couple years.
I thought he was in Orlando with Connor.
I have no idea. He said bye. Not much I know. He said he was driving for 3 hours and makes sense.
Well, nobody saw that coming. So the troll is in possession of the ball.
This is going to be some fun moving around here. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great change from 2016. It's not a turnover, you have to lose control of the ball.
Action at a distance, taking their last turn of the second half. This will be the Elves' last turn of the championship match here at Brevard Game Lounge.
The green one has reached, so
Current score is 4-1 with the Elves in the lead.
get to do. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Blood Bowl fans, if you can't see it, you'll just have to take my word for it. There's actually a Minotaur sleeping in the stands. It seems though he's passed out. I think he drank too much Nurgle energy drink.
but it's still has black.
That's still kind of the same thing.
But it still has black.
If it was just a rock with like, don't
Finally, the Elves get a skull, which they're able to successfully use a reroll, unlike the Goblins who were not able to successfully use any rerolls in the second half, and turn that skull into a push, thereby giving Nuffle the middle finger. Elves pulling out the fouls on turn 16. Refs don't give a shit. And the Elves take out a Goblin. Foul him into the red box.
Yeah, I get why force negation is so good at that.
These Elves are certainly not halflings. If halflings were up winning 4-1, they would be celebrating at the buffet already. These Elves are getting angrier and angrier.
You need to get a name.
Turn 8 for Gobra. It's a little too far for the Troll to truck down the field and score the touchdown, which would definitely be worthy of a celebration. Gobra looking to see what they could possibly do to end this game on a high note. High being the operative word as Gober decides to throw a teammate and toss a goblet into the air. Troll is not hungry. Goblin's life is spared as he sails through the air. Let's see where he ends up.
Inaccurate.
Because of the minus of the attack zones.
Because he's got to scatter first. So he's not going to land in any tackle zones.
So you're just doing it for
Does he stick the landing? He sticks the landing.
Goblin sticks the landing and goes for the blitz. 2 die uphill, no fear. Yeah, he has no fear at this point. Of course, the elves are going to take the skull. Great match. That was turn 8 in the second half, and it is now final. Brevard Game Lounge, Season 1, Blood Bowl Season 1. Championship match won by head coach Rob Treen of the Elf Team, Action at a Distance. And he wins a Woj coin. How many people have won Woj coins since you got them?
I think I'm down 12.
That's not bad. So, head coach Rob Treen, what do you think? Are the Action at a Distance Elves going to come back for Season 2, or are they going to take a break?
We'll ask the league, maybe set a precedent, the first place team. Not that anybody has to follow this. Try to set a precedent. First place team retires at least for one season. Yeah.
I would go for the repeat. Absolutely. There are other teams coming back and redrafting. I think you should bring them back if you want to play them again. Maybe bigger and badder teams. That's over.
That's it?
Yeah, the Elves won 4-1. Oh, thank you.
Oh, really?
So this is James Luft, a.k.a. Beard Jones, a.k.a. Legion on the NAF, representing Brevard Game Lounge, doing some not-so-colorful commentary for the championship match. I want to thank everybody for listening or watching. Gearing up for Season 2 already, and we're looking forward to doing some more live streaming. So when we do, we'll be sure to post the link, and hopefully we'll see y'all again. You all have a great night.
Stop streaming. It's up to the right. It's up to the right.
Those are like mine.
Second place with Goblin.
Stop streaming.
I've been doing this.